What's up, everybody? How we doing? Welcome to South Beach Strategy. Today we had a double header. We had Adrian VIP Fuentes first, and next one of my boys from high school, Rudy Mage. Everybody, I'm sure, is gonna recognize this man. Rudy, what's up?
Thank you so much for having me, man.
Yeah, man.
What you guys are doing. This is awesome.
St. Brendan Columbus reunion, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, we're in the news because Columbus was in the college championship game, right? The quarterback was the Heisman Trophy winner and all that.
Yeah.
Finally, you guys get some fucking recognition, right?
I know.
A winning squad.
Overdue.
Yeah, because back in those days, the football team was not that good, right?
No, dude. Back in those days, nothing. They
sucked.
were just a bunch of bullies. That's it.
Yeah. But then they learned how to they recruit, right? They knew where to go and get the guys that knew how to play. And they got some studs. So I heard now they're good too.
They're really good. Yeah. Really good. My son played his freshman year. He didn't start, but he played for the team. You know what I mean? So like one thing he told me, he's like, Dad, whether I start or not, he's like, I'm part of a team.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that to me was the biggest thing, that he was part of a team, a brotherhood. So that's really good for him.
Well, I guess that's part of the podcast. So why is being on a team important to him?
I think it's more also the push that your teammates give you. You know, like the workouts that they would do, the friendship that brings. You know, Columbus until this day, I'm friends with a lot of these guys that I went to school with. So it's a good network to have. It's a great school. So that's a total plus for that.
Yeah, I was good friends with the class that was over you. Yeah. I was good friends with a lot of the people in your class. And to this day, all these guys are still together.
Absolutely.
You know, so Columbus builds a bond. Even it wasn't teammate bond because it wasn't like you guys were on a team.
Yeah.
But it was a friendship.
Friendships that last forever, dude.
And why is it that Columbus is so good at that?
I think the fact that there's no girls is a plus, I guess, because there's no distractions. So you have no other choice but to bond with the dude next to you, your classmate, your teammate. So that's, I feel like, creates a hell of a bond. Plus, dude, just the values that it teaches you, the ethics, the morals, like all that comes into play at Columbus, which is why it's a great school.
Yeah, because you'll see even movies like that. I saw Tag. You see the movie Tag, right?
Yeah.
You Tag?
Yeah.
Like it seems like in the movie it's rare to them that people at an older age are still friends from their high school.
Yeah.
But for guys from Columbus that I know, they still manage to keep that friendship intact.
Yeah, absolutely.
And for me, I always look at it from the outside, and I'm like, damn, that's dope that these guys are still all friends. You know,
till this day, I'm in investment chats. Like it's all about helping each other. If I need a plumber, if I need a guy at the bank, whatever it is, hey, put it on the chat, and someone will connect you to
somebody will have somebody
someone
for
will
that,
have
right?
someone for that person. So that's always really good.
So now taking that to, like you said, to your business, does that work for in the other way around? When not just when you're looking for somebody, but when people are looking for someone for your business, do you get a lot of referrals?
A lot of referrals too. You know what I mean? It's constant marketing. Depending on if I'm launching a new brand, you're in an alumni chat that has thousands of individuals. So every couple of days, you just throw a promo text. You know what I'm saying? Hey, this is what I'm doing. This is what I got. So that also goes a long way.
Well, you got me from high school. You know, we knew each other in high school, and I was your client.
Remember, we worked at Bally's together.
Oh my God,
we worked
bro!
at Bally's
Jesus,
together.
damn. Yes. How long was your stint there?
I worked at Bally's for like 4 years, dude.
4 years?
Yeah.
Holy shit!
You were one of my assistant managers, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
And you stayed at that
and
location.
the Gables. I stayed in the Gables, and then I stayed at the
right.
Gables
I had a short stint there. That's why.
And then they sent me to the airport also. I worked at the airport.
Wow, bro, that's crazy. And then Henry was your manager?
I don't remember.
The airport? You don't remember them?
No, I don't remember them.
I'm gonna chat with all the Bally's guys, so I know all the managers from back then.
Yeah.
Bro, that's crazy. Wow, that's wild. And so that's where your sales background comes from. Then.
Yeah, no, I mean, sales was something that I did since I was young. I used to do door-to-door sales, selling pots and pans. I did ADT sales. They would drop me off in the middle of the hood and just go around knocking on doors asking who needed security because that was the highest crime area in Miami. And they would just drop me off there and be like, hey, go fucking sell. Same thing, selling memberships, dude, I've always done sales. Like, that's the hustle in me. You know what I mean? Until this day, even with all the success that I reached, I still hustle like if I'm broke. You know, out the trunk. My trunk is full of shit. You know? So.
I feel like actually, now that you're saying that, I think that's the best way.
Yeah.
Like, I have the supplement line.
Yeah.
And I was telling someone the other day, I was talking to my partner, I'm like, man, I think mistake on the last one is we tried to go global.
Yeah.
Before going out the trunk.
Yeah.
How important it is to go out the trunk and hand-to-hand sales will lead you
absolutely
to success. We're talking about selling out the trunk of our cars, right?
Yeah.
And hand-to-hand sales.
Yeah.
And a lot of famous people from back in the days, that's how they started. I know Damon from Shark Tank. He started like that. And then Rockefeller started like that. And then Rudy started like that, right? So we got big names in the pot.
And that's something that honestly I never stopped doing. I feel like that kind of keeps me going. Like that hustle, the hand to hand, the door to door, the out the trunk, the doing pop-ups, the doing this, like I enjoy that. That's kind of like what keeps the fire in me, wanting more. Like most people are like, oh, let's just do stuff online and let's just focus on the online part. Nah, you forget how much, you know what I mean? It's necessary to do that hustle.
Yeah. I always share this story because I've had people come to me and they're like, "Yo, I'm gonna start a clothing line." This clothing line is like the biggest, big thing that
everyone.
And they're like, "Oh, and I'm gonna get a loan for $150K, and I'm gonna start this clothing line. And I'm gonna do all this stuff." And the first question I ask them is, "How many shirts have you sold?"
Yep.
And they're like, "What do you mean?" That'll be what the first thing they'll say. And I'm like, "So your plan is to get a loan for $150K from somebody who's gonna just give you this money when you haven't even sold one shirt, you haven't sold one dress, you haven't sold one anything?
Nothing.
That's not gonna happen.
Nope.
Nobody's gonna do that, just so you know.
Nope.
I don't care. No, but I'm gonna write a great business plan. Nope. Do they care about your business plan?
Nope.
Nobody gives a fuck, right?
So imagine when I started Ink Pro, let's go back 20 years. I started I wanted to be a clothing line. So I would come up with my designs, and I would have a buddy who's now my business partner showed me how to put stuff on apparel. So at that point, I started realizing how much competition there was with clothing lines. Everybody wanted to be a clothing. Oh, I'm starting this, I'm starting that. So that's when I was like, fuck.
Still,
you know what?
Still.
That's when I was like, you know what? I'm going to start a printing company and cater to all these clothing lines. And then eventually, I'll bring my clothing line alongside of it. So what I would do is I started printing for other people, and people would tell me that same story. Oh, I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna put this shirt on this person. I'm gonna put shit on that person. And I was like, you haven't created a brand. You just printed T-shirts. There's a big difference there. You know what I mean? And now you gotta go out there and sell. And before you try to get to that level, taking loans of $100,000. Dude, go sell the 12 shirts that you just printed. Mm-hmm. And then when you sell those 12 shirts, come and get 24, and then 24, and so forth, like steps by steps. I never skipped a step. I struggled for many, many, many years, but I never skipped a step. I went from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4, not from 1 to 10. Right. So like that's something that I feel like people, they try to skip that hustle part. They try to skip the struggle. The struggle is what builds character. You know what I mean? Like without that struggle, like you're never gonna get to where you want to be, because the struggle reminds you of a place you never want to be back.
I blame the online courses, because I just think it's all these online courses. You go in there and you're like, oh, this is what we're gonna do. Follow my YouTube. Pay me $20, $50 for this page, and this is what you're gonna do. You're gonna print 12 shirts. You're gonna get a loan for $100K. You're gonna write this business plan. Blah 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 blah. Next thing you know, you paid some guy $500, $1,000 for his plan. And you got nothing in return, because nobody's gonna give you a loan. It's not gonna happen.
And I'm sure you see that too with the cars. You know what I'm saying? Like especially like you see these guys on social media. Oh, check out my new Lambo. Check out my new this. And I'm like, wait, doesn't Jason own that car? Yeah. Doesn't Mati own that car? You know what I mean?
Well, you know, I follow the Ink Pro, protocol. I cater to everybody. I'm here to help them. So it's funny because I'll bring my brand along as well.
Yeah, because like my son is like, oh, Dad, check out blah blah blah. And I'm like, Pops, like, have you seen him on Ball Busters? Because these people just busted their da-da-da. And like, it's a lot of fake it till you make it.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't mind it. Like you said, if you're doing the steps like you said, if you're working it from the ground up, and I'm the first one to say, I think that was my mistake with the supplement line. Yeah, I tried to go global. Yeah. And I couldn't even sell to my friends. Look at all the old product that I have there. Yeah. Like, I'm literally taking all that product myself. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because it expired on me. I went and said, I'm going to buy a shitload of product. Yep. I'm going to do this marketing campaign online. I'm going to push it. My business partner's a BJ. You saw me go, man, I went deep.
For a while.
For a long time. But
for a while.
if you don't do the hand-to-hand part, you're not going to have a foundation of clients, you know? And I think that's where I made a mistake. And seeing you come here and say, man, I got stuff in the trunk.
Yeah.
It's first thing I think to my head is like, that's exactly what I got to get back to. So I'm revamping my product line right now.
Absolutely.
And I'm only going to do out the trunk.
Yeah.
So if somebody wants something, no more freebies.
Yeah.
Come with the $40 to the office.
Of course.
And you can take your pre-workout with you and go. You know what I mean?
I mean, till this day, I'm doing, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm doing Carnival at the Mile. I'm doing, you know what I mean? I've been doing the Surf Expo, which is where you want to be global. You know, the Surf Expo is expensive to be, but aside from that, yeah, I do the local shows. I used to do all the hip-hop pop-ups. Like, as my career progressed, you would always see me at these events. Like, I became the cool spot to get your shirts printed because of being at all these local spots, getting connected with, at that time, the celebrities. I was doing, you know, stuff for all the rappers and NBA players and stuff like that. And little by little, that's what built up my career towards that now.
And talk about the jacket. Is the jacket from Ink Pro or what?
No, this jacket is not Ink
No,
Pro.
no. Come on, dog. Are we going to have to edit that out? Because that was one of yours. I was going to tell you it looks fresh.
Yes.
All right, so let's go from the beginning. Let's start. So, because now I'm curious about the timeline here. You graduate from Columbus. Where do you go from there?
So I graduated from Columbus. I went to... I wasted a couple years eating shit at Miami.
You're 18, you're doing graffiti, you're in the art world.
Bro, between the ages of 18 and 23, I was a real piece of shit. I got into a lot of trouble. I was in and out of jail. I went to Art Institute for Computer Animation, which I got my degree from computer animation there. Once I graduated, in like around 2005, ICE picked me up because I was not a citizen yet.
But how did you go to Columbus?
I was a legal resident.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? My mom came here. We were all legal residents. They all became citizens. At the age of 18, I had to go do it by myself. She couldn't do it anymore. Well, come to find out that all the times that I got arrested, now I'm eligible for deportation.
You're
All
Cuban?
No, I'm Peruvian.
Okay.
So I show up to a court date, I'll never forget, August 2005. And I walked into the office with my attorney, and they're like, we need to detain you. And I'm like, detain me? What the fuck you mean detain me? I got to go to work. You know what I mean? Like, I got stuff to do. You know what I mean? I'm 23 years old. They're like, no, sir, you're being detained. And I looked at my lawyer. I'm like, yo, what's going on? He's like, I'm sorry, Rudy. I didn't know they were just going to detain you right here. And I'm like, how long? And he's like, I'll try to get you out in 2 weeks. And I'm like, 2 weeks? He's like, I'm like, where am I going? He's like, you're going to Chrome. And I'm like, all right, fuck it, man up. All right, let's go, 2 weeks. I didn't listen to when he said, I will try to get you out in 2 weeks. 2 weeks come by, hey, your court date's been pushed. How long? Another month. A month goes by, hey, your court date's been pushed. Another month. So I was in Chrome waiting for my court date for 6 months, and then Hurricane Katrina hit here. Oh, my God. And they transferred us to Arizona State Prison.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. So they put us...
You must have been like, what the hell is happening?
They didn't even tell us where they were taking us. They just said, hey...
Pack out.
Yeah, they just pack your shit, and, you seen Con Air?
Yeah.
The movie Con Air? All right, through the back of the airport, shackled up like this, agents, fucking AK-47s, unmarked airplane, put us on. And
the weather must have been shit.
Where you
the
going?
weather was probably already getting bad, right?
Yeah. I'm like, everyone's like, where you going? Shackled up like this.
Yeah.
Con Air, dude.
Nobody knew.
Nobody knew. Yeah. As soon as the plane hits up and it hits the 30,000 feet, next stop, Phoenix, Arizona. And we're like, what the fuck? My parents didn't know. Nobody knew. Nobody knew where we were going for security reasons.
Yeah, of course.
Anyway, so make a long story short, I was in Arizona State Prison for like another 4 or 5 months.
So a year?
A full year. G shit. Arizona, that was G shit. Okay? Like, you know what I'm talking about. You know
but this is you're in immigration, so you're with everybody's getting deported.
Everyone that's being deported. Immigration was Chrome. Once they put us in Arizona State, like we were in Gen Pop, but we were right there, sharing the yard.
Yeah, I know how the Arizona is.
Yeah. So
Our old office manager was there.
thank you to Arizona because the immigration laws over there were more lenient than Florida. So when I went to see in front of the judge was like, clearly, my whole family was there. You know, clearly you come from a good family, you have good values, you have good this, blah blah blah. You were just a piece of shit between these ages. None of your crimes are of moral turpitude. The U.S. pardons. You know?
No.
And they released me right there.
And they gave you your citizenship right there?
After that, I went and I applied and I got my citizenship. And that to me was, bro, the biggest accomplishment of my life.
And lesson, probably.
And lesson, obviously, because that really, bro, it made you really value life, dude. Made you value that what you had created here in the United States. I had friends that I was with that are now in Mexico and Chile and Peru and El Salvador, and they can't come back into the U.S.
Are they okay?
Ever.
Did they strive where they're at, or they're fucked?
Some of them, yeah. Some of them are fucked. You know what I mean? So, like, man, let me tell you, America.
And you didn't have the business at this time, right?
No, I didn't have shit. So once I was out of there and I really started focusing on my life and bringing all my together, because I lost my job, my apartment, my girlfriend at the time, my car, everything. I had to start from zero. That was one of the times that I literally started again from zero at like 25 years old.
So you're 25 now.
Yeah.
And then now what? So what's step one? You get back to Miami, and where you go?
Back to Miami, and I got a job working at like a little print company, and then I started doing my shirts on the side.
So Bally's was before
Yes,
the immigration?
Bally's was before
Okay, so
that.
Bally's, ADT,
Yeah,
all these sales
all
jobs
that
were
was
all
before,
before you.
all that before.
So you leave that, you come back, and now you're chasing your dream.
Now I'm chasing the dream. So I went in, started working for a printing company, doing like vehicle wraps and stuff like that. But on the side, I was doing
I
my
remember
t-shirts.
that. Yeah, I think you were
You know
doing.
what
I remember
mean?
that.
Yeah. So at that time, the owner of the company, which is one of my mentors, Danny from the Printers Consultant, I told him, I go, yeah, I want to do t-shirts. I want to do t-shirts, and you know, he blessed me. He's like, hey, go start your own company. So I was living in a little.
Blessed you with
Like,
financial help,
no,
or
no
just
financial help. Like
Right.
just like, hey, go do it.
Go do
Go
it.
chase that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And why couldn't you do both? Why couldn't you stay working with him and
I
chase your dream?
was, but I wanted
To do
wanted
full-time.
I wanted to do full time,
Right.
and I wanted to have my own spot. I wanted to have my own little area. So I lived in a little tiny efficiency behind Dayland, and in that efficiency, for my birthday, I told my mom, buy me a little heat press. And then for Christmas, hey, buy me a plotter. And I would cut and I would press my shirts right there in my little efficiency, and then I would fill up my trunk. And then I would drive to all the flea markets. I would drive to all the barber shops. I would go to all the shows. I would drive up the entire Florida, all the way to Orlando, and drive back down, stopping in West Palm and stopping in different areas and putting flyers on fucking barber shops and anything that has to do with urban shit, because I was selling the iron-on shirts. So remember the iron-on shirts when they had the Biggie and the Tupac with the rhinestones and all that?
Yes.
I would do that.
Yeah.
I would sell to the flea market.
No, you were going hard. You've
Yeah,
always
yeah.
gone hard with your
Yeah.
business. As far as like, especially like you say, going to the shows and stuff like that, and
Yeah.
always being at these events. Because for
Yes.
me, I find them a little like I never know if they're worth it. But you're saying for you,
Sometimes they are, dude. I'll go and sit down. Even till this day, I'll go and sit down for 2 days to make $150. You know what I mean? And you're like, fuck. Okay, but yeah, you know, or you can go over there to do 2 events and make 3-4 grand. But it was to me, I always saw it like it's networking. All right, it's networking. You didn't sell anything, but how many hands did you shake? How many people did you give your business card to? How many people did you tell about your brand? So like that, you gotta that has value. You know, it might not have monetary value, but it's got a lot more value than you think. So people, that's what I always try to tell people is like, yo, you gotta grind. No matter where you are, if you're rich or not, you still gotta grind, because you gotta put that product out there in people's hands.
so your business, do you feel like you have more influence as far as helping others grow their brands, or
Yes.
yours?
Yes. Now with Ink Pro, I literally.
Let's tell the people what's Ink Pro.
All right, so Ink Pro is a print and design studio. We do specialize in screen printing and sublimation, embroidery, clothing line production, anything pretty much that has to do with apparel. That's what we focus on. We've been in business for 15, 18 years or so. So yes, with Ink Pro, I help people develop brands. If you want to launch a clothing brand, you come to me, and from start to finish, I can help it with. From the design part, I can tell you what to do with the website. I can tell you what to do with the social media, production, how to sell it, etc. Now it's just your job to go sell the product I just gave you, because people are like, oh, now I have a clothing brand.
What's the number one thing someone needs to have if they want to have a successful clothing line?
Hustle, bro.
Hustle is number one?
Hustle's number one. If you wanna be a local brand, a mom and pop's brand, you don't need a big budget. You know what I'm saying? You just need to be able to get this product and then sell it at a 2-3x what you paid for it. If you're trying to be a global brand, which is kind of what I'm trying to do now with the Shimu brand of shorts. So now that I have Ink Pro on autopilot, I have a great team. I have a good business partner now that helps me out with everything.
Same location?
Yes.
Which is?
We're in Alapata. We're in La 20, so 20th Street and 20th right there in Alapata.
There's a Peruvian restaurant right in front of your place.
Front.
It's fire.
It's fire. I eat there all the time.
Yeah.
I eat there all the time. So I learned through all these years, because I failed at trying to do clothing brands. I failed going on 3 times. You know what I mean? But I learned also the do's and don'ts. If you're trying to be a mom and pop's local brand, cool. You gotta be at all these local, even if it's the fair, the bazaars at Columbus, the bazaars at Belen, the bazaars at all these schools. I still do those things. You know, till this day I do those things, and sometimes at the end I'm like, fuck Rudy, like, you know what I mean? But this is the shit you gotta do, and I take my son with me, and it's more for me to teach him, like, hey, look, I'm 46 years old now. I'm already successful, and I'm still out here grinding. And he sees that, and that to me is the most valuable thing that I can teach him. Is you know, I'm not showing him how to live. I'm living, and let him watch me do it.
And what about the influencer that comes to you and says, I got 10 million followers, man. All I got to do is post this, and it's going to blow up. Does it work like that?
No, it doesn't.
No?
It's never, like, at least for me.
You've never seen one?
I don't ever go that fucking route. I don't want to say I don't believe in it, because it can work out for you. But I've given stuff away till this day. Oh, post this on your IG. Okay, 150,000 followers, 200,000 followers. Shout out to you'll get 1 follow me, 3 follows. It's not like people are like,
yeah, they just swarm you, right?
This guy's gonna post it for me, and that's it. I'm rich.
Yeah.
Okay, guys.
You must get a lot of those, though. Because
lot,
I get a
dude.
ton, bro.
A lot. Oh, hey, don't you know who I am, bro?
I don't think they understand. Or what do you think? Their hustle is that they do it so much that somebody actually says, oh, wow, look at your Instagram. Oh, yeah, let me give you all this shit for free.
Yeah.
You think somebody comes around and says, do it?
Yeah. I think I guess that industry's already been poisoned, because there is individuals that'll come and they'll be like, hey, I'll pay you $1,000 for 1 post. I mean, that's what I've DM'd people, be like, hey, how much to post my $500, $800, $1,000 to post it on my story. And I'm like, what? People pay for this shit?
Yeah.
And then I have organically my close friends who have have hundreds of thousands of followers, and they'll post it, and bro, you don't see shit. You don't see shit. Ain't nobody go on the website and buy it. No. You know what I mean?
But these influencers must have I guess you would call them influencers. I just find them scammers because I don't know who they are.
No,
hey,
I
do you
hate
do
the term
collabs?
influencers.
Do you do collabs?
Yeah. I hate that term influencer.
Yeah,
you know
it drives me crazy. Yeah. Collabs. Nah, I don't do. I do collabs cash for goods.
Yeah.
That collab is a good one for me.
It's called an exchange.
I'll give you a discount.
Yeah.
I don't mind giving somebody a discount. If you got some followers and you want to post it, feel free. But I'd rather just give you the discount and you just not post shit. How about that?
Yeah, no. People tell me all the time, like, oh, I'm going to give this to this rapper. I'm going to give this to this person. And watch, I'm going to be the biggest clothing. I'm like, bro, I wish you the best. I wish you the best. And then a couple months later, oh, did you give it to him? Yeah. How'd it go? Oh, I don't know.
Nothing.
Yeah, nothing.
So I want to put together for the people because, I know you from when you were doing graffiti and art and all that stuff. So how did that come into the clothing line and into your brand? Did that have something to do with it, or was it just?
Yes.
You know, you wanted
yes.
to, you wanted to do clothing, and you just got into, or art had to do with that.
Art definitely had to do with that because when I was doing my art, I wanted to put my art on apparel, and my business partner now, Jose, he had a little small print shop, and he showed me. He's like, hey, we can print these images on this transfer paper, and then this transfer paper you can just heat press it onto your shirt. So like that was mind blowing. Like the first time I saw that, I was like, wow. And then after that, I was like, okay, what are the other forms of printing? So I learned about screen printing. Then I learned about sublimation. Then I learned about the different types of screen printing and different ways of putting stuff on apparel. And that's pretty much how I grew the company, is just different ways. Because at first we just started with doing screen printing, and then I was like, hey, but we can also do this for the fishermen who don't want to feel it. Sublimation. Oh shit. Okay. Hey, the threaded embroidery for corporate stuff. Oh shit. Let's go that way. And now I'm able to offer everything that you need for clothing.
So now when people come to you and they don't know shit, you can help.
Of
Oh,
course.
what are you going to use it for?
Of
Oh, you
course.
should do this. And
Absolutely.
so being talented doesn't mean that you're going to be a great entrepreneur.
No. Hard no. Talent won't get you where you need to go. I feel like the issue with most creatives is that's what they are. They're creatives. They're not business minds. You know what I mean? It's very rare you find the creative that is also business savvy. I'm a creative, but I hustled all these years way before I was a creative. So like I learned the business part of it by making mistakes, by trial and error. That's how I learned the business part of it. Most individuals now that are creators are just that, creatives. You know what I mean? So it's very hard that you got both.
I think people sometimes they don't realize how being incarcerated will kickstart your future sometimes, I know a lot of people that
Absolutely,
come
man.
out and from a situation like that
Yeah.
and they strive forward 10 steps.
Absolutely.
And do you think that happened with you?
100%. Because you're at your lowest point you've ever been in your life. So at that point, you're at the bottom. You only have there's only one way to go, and that's up.
Some people go left.
Yes. Luckily, not me. I mean, I you know what I mean? I never got into drugs or anything like that would consume the life out of me, because a lot of these, like you said, yeah, they go left because depression is big. You know what I mean? It's how to get out of that hole. I would live in a tiny. I was living in my mom's maid's quarters, and then I was living in a little efficiency. I've slept on the floor at my shop. I slept, you know what I'm saying, in my car. Like it hasn't been easy. And then you think that you think you've made it because of all these years that you didn't have to struggle anymore, but the more you want to grow, the more struggles are gonna come. So that's just part of the game. You know what I mean?
As an entrepreneur, you could one bad turn and you're struggling all over again. It's not like your success is guaranteed forever.
Yep.
You got to guarantee that success every day.
Absolutely.
So-
Absolutely.
So I want the people to know that you're not just Ink Pro. You have a couple brands.
Yes. Shimu is the brand of shorts that I lost last year with my business partner Aaron. Just yesterday, I signed a lease in Cartagena. I'm doing an IV therapy called Suero Vita. So we'll be doing IV therapy in Cartagena. I actually have to fly over there on Tuesday to get everything set up. We're doing construction. So I'm excited about that. So yeah, it's full-blown entrepreneurship.
Why did you decide to go into shorts?
Why? Because I was tired of doing T-shirts. I'm like, fuck, I've already tried the T-shirt brand over and over again. Everybody's doing T-shirts. So I was like, let me do something completely different. And I was traveling. I was in France a couple years ago, and they lost my luggage. And I had to go and buy all new clothes. And everywhere that I went, I could not find a cool pair of shorts. Everything was just very basic, very generic, very blah. So at that point, I was like, I'm gonna do a brand of shorts, activewear shorts that you can wear in the water, swimwear shorts, no lining. So that was my whole thing behind the shorts.
You always know how to find the silver lining out of every situation.
I
Every
have
shit
to.
situation,
Yeah,
you know how
yeah.
to turn it around into a positive.
Absolutely.
All right. So, how do you decide what's worth doing at this point? Obviously, you failed at a couple things
Yeah.
along the way, right? It's
Yeah.
not always success. So, how do you now? What makes you say, okay, this is a project that I'm like going into the IVs? Is now you're talking about
Completely different
Yeah.
field. All right, so I have to be passionate about it. First of all, now at this age, I have to be passionate about it. The shorts, I loved the brand. I think we have an amazing material, and we're manufacturing in Peru. I'm Peruvian, so it was a way of like, all right, let me go back to my roots and see if I can help. I mean, people over there. So we manufacture everything Peru. Everything we do over there is in Peru, and I'm able to employ, even if it's 2 or 3 people over there, like that's just something that I'm helping others.
and you talk about partners, and that's something that we talk a lot about the show.
Yeah.
Talk to us about a good partner. What's a good partner to you?
A good partner to me is one who puts in the extra effort. So a thing with me is I always go harder than honestly everybody else. That's always been my issue with finding a good partner is that I never want to feel that I'm doing more than you. And vice versa, I never want to feel that you're doing more than me. So like that has to be good in a partnership is finding someone that has your same drive, your same goals, your same ambition, and at the same time that brings something to the table that you don't. You know what I mean? So like he picks up your slack on that part, or it balances out. So that's always good to look at as a partnership is hey, what does he bring to the table that I don't, and that's an awesome partnership. I'm going through it right now because I have numerous business partners, and you see it like you're like, oh, this guy moves a different way than this guy. This guy does this and so forth. So I always got my eye open for that. I always ask very personal questions when I go into partnership with people. How much money do you have in the bank? How much debt do you have? How much money do you make annually? I want to know all that shit. You know what I mean? Like I have people that like just recently, oh yeah, well, you want to be my partner? I'm looking for a partner. Cool. How much money do you have in the bank? I have like, a couple $1,000s in the bank. How much do you have in debt? I own child support. I own this. I own that. Okay, cool. This isn't gonna work.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Right, because the finances are not there.
Nah, I don't need you to need me. You know what I'm saying? I want you to fucking, we're gonna do this.
Yeah.
And we're not gonna worry about money for a couple of years.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like we're building something together. I don't want you to be dependent on this.
Yeah, because especially opening up a business in Cartagena, that's something where you guys got to be able to be ready to go for the long haul because it's going to take some time.
Of course. No, like my business partner now, he's like,
he's on it.
Within days. Hey, I rented an apartment here for 3 months. I'm moving over here for 3 months. I already have the lease. I already did that. Like every day is like.
It's a great idea for over there. Great idea for over there.
Yes.
Much needed. I don't know if they even have that there.
No, the nearest place
right?
is 30 minutes from us.
Oh yeah.
We're connecting with like the people who own travel agencies, all the people that do the bachelor parties.
Yeah, the clubs,
you know
the parties, the Airbnb hosts, all the people there. Yeah.
Yep, all
right. So now clothing line has a lot to do with culture, and culture is constantly changing. So how do you stay ahead of the trends?
So I've never followed trends. I've never have. I feel like trends come and go. I have always, I guess the products that I've always put out there are just timeless pieces. You know what I mean? For example, like right now, what's in trend is like the baggy pants and the short cut off shirts. Like I won't wear that.
Yeah.
So I won't wear that. So why am I gonna push that?
Right.
You know what I mean? That's where Ink Pro comes. Hey, you want to push that brand?
Yeah,
cool.
we'll make
I'll
it for
design
you.
that brand for you. I'll post it on my social media. I'll help you push it, all that. But it's not something that I want to wear or, you know what I mean?
Or put your name on it.
Yeah.
So the clothes that you make are clothes that you believe in.
Yeah. And then the other thing is, like, when it comes to trends, I feel like the trends change for the age groups of your 20s and 30s. For 40 and up, dude, the clothes have been the same since clothes were invented.
Yes, pretty
You know
much.
what I'm saying?
That's so true.
For kids, clothes have been the same since were invented. You're not changing a 45-year-old's t-shirt from long to short.
No.
You're not giving me a crop t-shirt.
No,
you know what I'm
no,
saying?
no.
I'm not wearing
No.
the big Kango pants.
No.
I'm not doing that.
No.
Like, I'm gonna stay like this, how I've been the past couple of
Yeah.
years.
But how do they
until I
wear those
fucking
crop
die.
tops? I've seen them. I know exactly what you're talking about. I've seen them, bro.
Talking about. And I see people wearing. I'm like, dude, you look
That's
like
crazy,
a fucking
right?
clown.
Yeah.
I tell my friends, I'm like,
Yeah.
yo, come on,
Yeah,
go
change that, bro.
You know what I'm saying? Your wife didn't tell you not to. You know what I mean?
They're married and shit with that.
Most of these people, a lot of them were like, oh, like fresh out of divorce, and it's like, yo,
trying to come back,
Yes,
right?
of
Yeah,
course,
you'll
of
take that
course.
off, right?
Yes, of
Hey, at
course.
least you're honest with them, you know.
Oh,
You
yeah,
tell
no,
them what it is.
honesty oozes out of me. That's people either love me or hate me because of that shit.
Well, one thing I want to talk about, which is a personal thing, I've always followed you with your kid.
Yeah.
You know, you've had a bond with him.
That's my
always, you know. So like, how do you balance fatherhood and then the business and stay involved in everything?
So I've had my son full time. Like, he lives with me full time, 7 days a week for the past 5, 6, 7 years. So I've been everything. So I want him to be better than me. You know what I mean? Like, I did not have the father figure growing up. My dad left me and my siblings when we were very young. He moved to another country, started another family. I'm the only one that tried to have a relationship with him. My mom sent me to finish high school in Chile, and we just never, and that never got mended. You know what I'm saying? He was never there for me the way I needed him to be throughout those years. So I always wanted to make sure that I was there for my son the way my father wasn't.
So does your son go with you to the store? Would you bring him at an early age to the
My
store
son,
and there on
my
the
son
weekends?
has been working with me since he was like 13 years old, 12 years old. He would come the days he didn't have school. Then after a while, he was like, Dad, I don't want to work for Dad anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Really?
So, yeah.
No.
Yeah.
All right, so
this
we
is
gotta
like
get into
the past
that.
couple of years.
So
like,
he starts at 13. He's coming, and then
He's-
when did he hit you with that?
So he just turned 16 at like 14. You know what I'm saying? He was like, I told him too. I was like, you gotta go work for somebody else.
Yeah.
I don't want you working for me because for me it's like, oh, Dad, can I take a break? I'm like, don't fucking call me Dad.
Yeah,
Okay? Like,
yeah.
Work.
Uh-huh.
So when he was 14-ish, I got him a job at Mama Dora's Pizza, which is owned by a couple buddies of mine. And
The
he
Columbus
worked there.
Network coming into play.
He worked there. He was working there a lot. And then from there, he went to work.
So he was working there. He was responsible. He was
Yes.
doing everything. He wasn't
Yes.
hitting them with the brakes or
Nope,
nothing, right?
Nope. And he
Because they didn't give a
started
fuck.
from the bottom, cleaning the dishes, cleaning the toilets. Which
And he
is the
preferred
same
that.
thing. Yes.
He preferred that.
He liked it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, one thing I love about him is like, he's learned that you have to start at the bottom. Even when he would come work for Dad, like, I would tell him, like, yo, you're gonna start off by cleaning all the bathrooms, then you're gonna sweep, then you're gonna do that,
Yeah.
and then eventually after that, I'll teach you how to screen print, I'll teach you how to embroider, I'll teach you how to do this, I'll teach you that, I'll teach you the business aspects of it. But I always wanted him to start at the bottom. Everywhere he went, even when I got him the job, I was like, hey, I know he can't work legally. Pay him under the table, pay him minimum wage, but bro, put his ass to fucking, you know what I'm saying?
But
Clean the
what
dishes.
was it with
do
the
that.
father dynamic that you think that was the issue with the working? Why didn't he want to work for you? He's there. He's already working. He has his job. He's chilling. He didn't want to take orders from Dad?
Probably. I don't know. To me, I was fine with it.
You were
know
good
what
with
I mean?
it.
I was good with it because then it would also be, I gotta take him to work and then I have to work for him to leave. I go in and out of the office.
right.
I'm not there
Right.
from 9 to 5.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I go to
with
the
all
gym,
the events that you do, you got things to do.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So it was more of an inconvenience, honestly.
Yeah.
So I wanted him to go work for somebody else. Let him learn. Let him go out.
How
there
would
and
he
learn
get
the
to those
fucking
jobs?
world.
Well, how did he get to the pizza place?
The pizza place was very close to our house.
So he walked.
So no, I
You
told
dropped
him,
him
I
off.
go, yeah, the days that I can't drop you off, you have an Uber pass. You know what I mean? The Uber was like $9. I'm like, that's fine. I'll pay for you.
Yes. That's showing support right there.
Yeah, and then from there, he wanted a new job, so I got him a job at the sub place, Substantials, on
Oh,
Bird.
man, that's a good one. Oh, man, yeah, I love that one.
So
he started working there?
He started working there. I walked in one day.
That place still there?
Yes,
Wow.
yes. I walked in.
That
I'm like,
place
hey,
is
you guys
fire,
hired?
boy.
And the guy's like, yes. And the manager was like,
Was it the same guy on the grill? The old white, it's a white guy, right? That was on the grill with his family.
That was
and
the
stuff?
owner.
Right, that was the owner.
I don't know who the owner is now, but
Right.
the GM now, I walked in and he's like, Rudy. And I'm like, oh, shit. He's like, oh, I know you're from such and such. I'm like, oh, yeah, great. Are you hiring? Yeah. He's like, yeah. I go, it's my son. Blah, blah, blah. And then the next day they hired him. And he worked there every day from school. He would leave school at 2:30. He would go from school to the sub shop, and he worked there till 5 every single day. And then just maybe like 3 weeks ago, he's like, Dad, I want to apply for this job at the Chillin' ice cream place in Kendall. And I'm like, I'm not taking you to Kendall to go to work. Yeah. If you want this job, you're going to have to Uber to work. You're going to have to pay for your Uber or figure it out with your mom or somebody else. All right, Dad, I got it, blah, blah, blah.
And
blah,
he's
blah.
16 now.
He's 16.
So he can get a car?
I'm not buying him a car.
No, but he can buy one if he has a job?
Yes, he can. He's saving right now.
Okay.
He's saving. I told him I would match everything that he saves.
That's cool.
You know what I mean? Like, I first of all, I don't even feel comfortable with kids driving at 16. I don't think kids should drive at 16. I think the driving age should be like fucking 21 years old or something.
But he doesn't have a permit right now?
Yeah, he does.
So does he drive with you?
He does.
And he drives okay?
He doesn't drive my car. I let him drive the wife's car, and even then, at first, like I couldn't take it. I would sit in the back seat, and I'm like, I'll tell the wife, you drive and just make sure we get there. But he's been learning. He's been good. But I love that he has that hustle. Like, he's learning. I teach him a lot about the market. So I've been invested in the market and in crypto for a while now. And he sees me. He sees what I do. He sees what and I told him all the time, I go, learn, study everything, study how the market works, study, the puts and the calls, study everything with the companies, the earnings, all that, study what an ETF is, and blah, blah, blah. And honestly, for the past 6 or 7 months, every day that I see him, he's got 2 computers open. He's charting on one computer. He's learning on the other one. One book that I gave him a long time ago that he says he loves was Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
I hear that book a lot.
So I read that book, and I gave it to him, and then he read it, and now he understands, both perspectives, because he lives it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not calling out anybody else, but he's got Rich Dad, and he's got, the other perspective. So he sees, hey, this is how I want to be. This is where I want to be, at this age. I don't want to be in my 30s and my 40s and struggling and not living paycheck to paycheck. I want to be able to live like my dad. He's able to travel. He's able to go have lunch with his friends. If he doesn't want to work, he doesn't want to work. You know what I mean? So, like, that mentality is what I teach him. Is like, yo, bust your ass for fucking 10, 15, 20 years. Just bust your ass, and then you will have the freedom to do whatever you want when you're in your 40s and up. You'll see your friends now when you're older that they have to show up to work 9 o'clock, don't leave till 5, only get a certain amount of vacation times a year, and they're miserable, fucking miserable. So, like, that's what I've always tried to teach them is like, yo, just work really, 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 really hard so that when you're, down the line, you don't have to.
Yeah, that's the book that gets mentioned the most on the podcast, that Rich Dad Poor Dad. Yeah. I've never read it, but almost every entrepreneur that comes in here, like, they don't know this, but that's the book that they always mention. They say it has a lot of influence on them.
It changes your mentality to, you know what I mean? Poor people save, successful people invest. Like, I don't have a single fucking penny in a savings account. Every single money that I have is investment. I use my money to make more money. I don't use money. I don't spend money on stupidity.
But that's the entrepreneur life, no?
Yeah. I purchase assets every chance that I get. So, like, that is my mentality. My mentality is not, oh, let me fucking, go to the club and spend money on some bullshit. Let me go, You know,
Let me just go to Cartagena.
yeah, but I'm going to Cartagena for business. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I go for business too. What? All right. Advice for creators and entrepreneurs. All right. What should a creative focus on before they get into trying to go viral and all these things? We talked a little bit about people who think that they're influencers or stuff, but what should a creative do first?
Create a great product before anything. Like if you're trying to create a great product, no matter what the product is, if you're trying to do clothing, you'll focus on creating the best brand possible. Make sure you have everything done before you try to go viral. Your website done, your social media done. If you need to have a trademark done. All those steps before you even show anybody your brand. And again, hustle.
What's something that you wish you would have done sooner?
Something I wish I would have done sooner. I don't know.
When you started with the clothing line and everything was going forward, and now looking back,
okay,
I should have done this first.
One thing I wish I would have done sooner was started investing. I wish I would have done that
on other things. Or in your own business.
No, on other things.
On other things.
The stock market.
Always put a little money into some investment.
I always tell people that even now to this day, invest 20-30% of every dollar that you make. So where I did really well was during COVID, when all the businesses were shutting down and everybody was working from home or not working at all. I pivoted from making T-shirts to making masks. And I was the only place in South Florida where you were able to get masks on the spot. I was doing masks for Red Bull, Bank of America. I was selling masks on my website.
I remember.
You had
all the masks. Yeah,
anywhere from $10 to $20 for a mask.
We bought a bunch of them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So what I did after that is I made a ton of money in a very short amount of time. And at that point, I was like, I got to do something with this money. And I dumped it all into the stock market, into the crypto market when everything was crashing.
Crypto. You were in early then.
My process was like, you're telling me that Amazon, Microsoft, Nvidia, all these blue chip stocks are never going to go back up to where they were. Right now, they're 50-60% off. And I was like, boom. And I pushed all in. And I just held.
And Nvidia right now is like the biggest one, huh?
And I just held there for years.
That's good.
I held the loss for years.
And what was crypto out of that time? Because I don't even think people talked about crypto really at that time.
It was low. I mean, I got in early, and I've built up my portfolio since then. I have not sold a fucking anything.
So you're a crypto believer.
I have
Where's it
no
at right
choice
now?
but to believe in crypto.
Where's it at right now?
Right now, Bitcoin I think is like at 72.
72?
Yeah, dude.
Shit, it jumped up to like 100, and I don't have any. I don't really deal with that.
Right now is the time to get in.
But you think it's gonna go back up?
So, if you pay attention to what the government is doing right now, we're going into a decentralized system. So Trump wants to make America the Bitcoin capital of the world, the crypto capital of the world. Under the Clarity Act that's going to be hopefully passed by Congress in this year, like all that crypto stuff will explode.
Is his coin going to come back?
Explode.
Or his coin's done, right? He just raved everybody and bounced out, right?
He did rave everybody. Like, most people raved everybody.
That's gangster.
He's a fucking gangster.
Yeah,
but
bro.
Still, we're not going into politics.
Yeah.
But I think, I don't think, I know that this is, I personally think right now the market is being manipulated so that they can buy at the bottom. I have a feeling that in the next couple of months, the government's going to be like, okay, the government just bought 20 billion of fucking, Bitcoin, or 20 billion of Ethereum, or 20 billion of XRP, or any of one of those things.
So they can stabilize it? So if they do that, how does it go back up, though?
So we are in deep debt. You know what I mean? So that's why they're depreciating. The dollar keeps depreciating. You've seen gold shooting the fuck up, silver shooting the fuck up.
Yeah.
Those are signs of a recession.
Right.
Those are signs that the dollar is just depreciating value.
Yeah, and it is.
So how else they're trying to clear out this debt through cryptocurrency? In my
buy up all the debt with the crypto, let it drop, and then now we're out of debt.
Correct.
And then reset the market.
Correct.
All right, so let's go into some rapid fire questions. Merch or brand? What's more important?
Oh, I mean, I built my career off merch, so merch definitely.
Okay. Ownership versus exposure.
Ownership 1,000,000%. Exposure is fucking is exposure you do when you're on the come up. You know what I mean? Like when you're trying your hardest to be seen, and so no, ownership for sure.
Art first or business first?
Business for sure.
Okay, so what's next for you? Where are we headed?
So this year I'm focusing on the Shimu brand of shorts, and I'm focusing on the Suero Vitae in Cartagena. That's the only things that I have right now that I'm focusing on. I'm looking to do manufacturing overseas for clothing. I want to do my own blanks, so my own T-shirt blanks, and bring in my own blanks overseas. I already went to Peru and tried to do it, but cost factor is too much. I went to Colombia to try to do it. Cost factor is too much. So
What is the cost of making it there or bringing it?
Both. I mean, if I can currently buy a T-shirt here for under $3, and I go to Peru and they're telling me I can give it to you for $3, and then you gotta pay another $1 to bring it over here. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, so it's just better to make it here.
It's China, India, Vietnam. That's.
And then what about the tariffs when it comes here? Does it not like go back up?
But if I'm getting something at 60 cents, 80 cents, and now it costs me $1.50,
you're still winning.
Yeah, you know what I mean. If I can, all I'm looking to do is make $1. If I can make $1, I already sell hundreds of thousands of shirts a year. So $1 is 6 figures.
Right. So I know this is gonna go on the whole Columbus chat with the thousands of people. So let's put on here, where does everybody find you? Because I'm gonna put this on the St. Brendan chat too.
Of course.
We're gonna compete and see who's got more influence here. So where do people go when they want to buy stuff? Are we doing uniforms for people?
Yeah, of course. We do uniforms for football teams. We do uniforms for schools. We do all of that. So Inked Pro, you can Inked Pro, INKEDPRO. That's the Instagram. The website is inkpro.com. The Shimu brand is shimudynasty.com. And then the Instagram is at Shimu Dynasty. And then Rudy_Mage.
I'm going to get my Shimu shorts.
Yeah,
I'm going to be rocking them on the gram this weekend for you people so you can see what they look like.
Yes.
Follow Rudy. Anything you need, he's got it. And I told my girl yesterday that you were going to be on the show. She's like, oh, I can't wait because now we're going to make some hoodies, EMCR. And I was like, oh, shit, here we go with spending money again.
Of course.
But, hey, thank you for coming.
Course,
Appreciate you, my bro. We've been waiting to do this for a while.
Absolutely.
And now we finally did it.
Yes, thank you, bro.
Cool.
Appreciate it.
Awesome.